All right, just wanted to do a quick little review of this Soloflex machine I got the other day. I bought these things over here. You can see those power blocks. Those are pretty cool. But then I needed a bench for it to work out of the office. And at first I was trying to do floor presses and stuff like that, but that's kind of really annoying, man. When you're solo, to try to get the weights up into the starting position when you're laying on the floor. So I figured I'd need a bench. Started looking around. I noticed all the benches locally were at least, the shittiest benches were $100 locally. So started looking on Kijiji and stuff, and found this bad boy, Soloflex. Man, I remember back in the day when I was like in grade 5, 6, 7, whatever it was. I wanted one of these so bad, man. I used to see the infomercials, man. You want to get muscles, all this shit. And then, I called them and get the video, got the video and everything and all the details, the brochure. Tried to convince my mom to get to hook me up because I think it was only like $20 or $30 a month. I was like, man, we can totally afford this. But she would have she didn't want nothing to do with it. Again, I've only used this a few times right now, but I just had to make this video because there's a few things that frustrated the shit out of me. And the only reason I made this video is it's not for not because it's like an old classic machine and I wanted to just post something on it. It's because they're still selling this thing. I think you can still go to Soloflex website and I think they're still like $1,500. This obviously is an older model. They might have had a few tweaks along the lines in the last 20 to 30 years, but when you look at the pictures, it looks something very similar. Things I want just to point out right off the bat that I was frustrated with is this bench. I bought this Soloflex because I needed a bench for my power blocks, and I figured, I'll get the Soloflex because it has a bench and it has, I can do pull-ups, set it up for pull-ups with this thing up here, and I can set it up for dips. So I'd have for $85, 80, $85, I have a dip station, pull-up station, and a bench. But right off the bat, the bench is a pain. It's just crap. You know what I mean? I'm 6'2", 6'3", and this bench here is tiny. Like, I sit on the edge of the bench, put my dumbbells on my knees, drop down, and I have to watch out that I don't bump my head on this bar. So using this as a for free weights is not that great. If you want to use it as a hybrid machine. So I'm already creating another. There's the starting of the next bench I'm making there. So I'm already making a bench. I got vinyl, foam, and then the wood. So I'm already making a longer bench. This bench is like 3.5 feet, or 3.5 feet long. And I'm just making one that's at least 4 inches, so at least I can sit my butt a little further out. And then when I sit back, I'm not banging my head on the bar or watching out, because that's kind of annoying. Another thing I hate with this bench, or just this system, is doing bench press. Doing bench press is freaking annoying. You can see the bar is right there at the starting position. My chest would just touch, but I have to get underneath this fucking thing. That's annoying. I have to kind of get over here and start trying to sneak underneath this. It's just annoying as hell. And if you say, oh, just put the bar up, then you go into the problem number 2 with these system here. These bands. These bands are great, if you got nothing else. But the reality, it's just like, just like the cords, like these bad boys here. Like these things here. The resistance at the beginning is like 0, and then it exponentially goes up and peaks when it's ready to fucking slingshot back. It's the same thing with this. Like say right now, there's two 25 pounders on here, so it's supposed to be 50 pounds. Well, truthfully, the first 6 inches of play has very little weight. So even if I sneak underneath here and get into position, the first 6 inches of my bench, like at least this much, it's just starting to make its way to say like the 50 pounds, for example. When I get to about 3 inches, it's probably doing about 25 pounds, half of that. Then when it gets to about 6 inches, it's hitting the 50 pounds resistance. But the thing is, I can continue to go on. For max, if I wanted to go, let's see if I can do this with one arm. I go here and I try to go all the way. See, right here it's about 50, it's about 60 pounds probably. And once I get to here, it's getting harder. It's about 70 pounds. So the reality is at the midpoint of the stretch, it reaches its displayed weight. I can't see it on that side. Can't see it on that side. I guess I have them backwards. But it hits its advertised resistance at the midway point, and then it continues on. And I was doing a little measurements with deadlift, and it's like if I want to hit the advertised resistance, I have to move this bar at least 6 to 7 inches by the time it's all set up, and then I can continue from there. And then it goes up. I would say to the end of the motion when this gets to the end. Like I'll show you without the resistance here. So here's only half the resistance now. So right here is about when you start. That's where I would feel like the 25 pounds right now. And then I continue, and then by here it's probably about 30 to 40% more than the advertised. So that in a way that's kind of annoying, but at the same time, I think that's kind of. And the good point about that is that you don't. The bad thing is that you don't really know what you're really lifting. You have to make sure you at least get the first 6 inches. You have to set yourself up to get the first 6 inches done, and then you do the motion. But then you're constantly above what you think you're doing. You know what I mean? However, I think that's really cool because, the top of every fucking motion is usually your strongest. So in a way, like for example, let's say if I bench about, well, right now my bench sucks, so it's probably about 205, 215, 220 pounds, something like that. I don't even know. I think I did 205 like for about 4 reps the other day. So my bench, probably would be around 225, 235 right now. Just don't laugh, but that's what it is. But anyways, you know what? But that's like the full bench, right to the bottom, all the way up to the top, full range of motion with dead weight. However, I could probably put 315 and do 315 if I want to just do the top 6 inches or 4 inches of the bench. I could probably do 315. So in a way, this is pretty cool because you set it up for your weakest, the weakest range, and then you should be able to, as you hit the strong range, there's actually more weight. You know what I mean? So so in that way, I think these rubber bands are pretty cool because you set the weight for your weakest range, and then you can still give her at the peak of your range instead of hitting like I said, I could maybe do 225, 235 at a full range motion. That'd be my max rep. But the reality is the top portion of that rep, I could easily have done maybe, or not easily, but I could have done maybe 315 at the top portion, and just rep that out. So at least with the rubber bands, you do your weak motion at the bottom, and it's you set yourself up for the weak motion, if you know what I mean. So you say, okay, well the max I can do is 225, so I'll set up this machine for 225 at the weakest portion of the motion, and then I'll continue on. And then by the time I hit my arm straighten out completely, or almost lockout, it's going to be probably like fucking 300 pounds, at the top. So in that way, it's kind of cool. But right now, I got to modify this bad boy. Like I said, putting a new bench. Don't know how much I'm going to use this, but I'm using more with those blocks right there. But then I'll probably use the blocks until my stabilizers get fucking crushed. And then once the stabilizers are done, then I'll go to this and just work out on this thing. We'll see how that goes. Still got a membership at Snap Fitness too, so who knows. But that's my review. That's my rant about the Soloflex. Again, like I said, I just thought I'd post this because you can probably find these things online. Like there was 2 on Kijiji within a month, period of a month. And they were like, one was 85 and the other one was like 120, but the one where there was 120 had like all the accessories. So, these things that you can buy brand new for $100 or $1,500 to $2,000, still brand new, I think, from looking at the website. You can find these everywhere for like $100. And that's my thing. So yeah, there's tons of exercises you can do on this, but I think all the body weight exercises are the best things. Bench press is a pain in the ass. Curls should be fine. All the deadlifts, that should be cool on this. People use the Smith machine, so what's wrong with using this thing, right? It's the pretty much same principle. You're fucking pushing on you're not stabilizing yourself. Anyways, I'm just gonna start ranting and don't want to waste any more time.